Alex Trujillo here from FlightScope. I have my colleague Tyler Burnett joining us this week, and this week we're going to talk about the Mevo Plus. So really excited to speak a little bit about the Mevo Plus and all its cool features. We have a lot of people on here. We have a lot of questions already asked, so we're going to try to get through all of this. We'll probably be a little bit longer than we're used to, but we will get you guys dialed in. Tyler, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining, everyone.
Awesome. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go through some slides. If you have a question, please ask it in the Ask a Question section down on the bottom. Being that we have over 760 people signed up for this, there's no way we'll be able to get to all the questions in the chat. So if you go to Ask a Question section, we can answer you there. It'll clip a recording for you, and it'll email it to you as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen. Alrighty, so here is our Mevo Plus training, and we have a little video for you.
Mevo Plus from FlightScope is both an advanced launch monitor
and a golf simulator at the same time.
It's perfect for
Indoors,
outdoors,
rain,
shine,
putting,
chipping.
and Mevo Plus gives you 5 courses, target games, and more right out of the box.
Plus, it comes with 16 data parameters. So now you can practice,
Play.
and perform anywhere.
It does it all. You want to try it?
Are you serious?
You're welcome.
Mevo Plus. Go to FlightScopeMevo.com to learn more.
Bubba and Bryson did a great job just explaining some of the features of the Mevo Plus. And for those of you on here who already have a Mevo Plus, you know that it comes with the 5 golf courses through E6, some target games, and then all of your data parameters. So let's talk a little bit about the data parameters that are provided. So you have your carry distance, club speed, and ball speed. Those would be the top 3 main data parameters that are given. And something that's important to note is that the carry distance, because this is a tracking radar, the Mevo Plus actually sees the ball in flight. Now, it isn't a full tracking radar as our top of the line model X3 is, but it does track a very significant portion, and then it runs a ballistic algorithm. That ballistic algorithm is also ran with weather information. So if you're connected, for example, to the FS Golf app on your phone or maybe on your iPad, and it has cellular data, then the weather information gets pulled in automatically, and it's used into that ballistic algorithm to give you the most precise carry distance possible. So it's not a, let's say, a launch monitor. It's actually a tracking radar, and that's something that separates us from some of the competition out there in the Mevo Plus market. Club head speed, ball speed, you have your spin rate and your smash factor. You have some of your launch angles, vertical and horizontal. So now you know whether you're starting the ball left or right of the target line, how far or how big your vertical launch angle is. These are some data parameters that weren't on the Mevo and have been added into the Plus. Angle of attack, total distance, roll distance, spin axis and spin loft, your lateral landing, apex height, flight time, and shot shape. So before I go into the next slide, we do have 36 questions on the Ask a Question section. So Tyler, maybe we should start answering a few of those.
So the first one, we have a few votes on it. The question is, many Mevo Plus users, including myself, have been experiencing or reporting disconnection from the device while playing E6 with iPad or PC. Yeah, so just on the fix with the disconnections, TrueGolf is working on an update for us. We're hoping that that's going to be released either the first or the second week in December. Hopefully it will be sooner, but please know that there is a fix coming for that. Okay, so the question is, on very short chips, is there a possibility that the Mevo gets the club head speed confused with the ball? I get some strange results sometimes when the ball launches way too high and carries way too far.
Okay, so because it is radar, we can see the difference between the club and the ball. On the shorter shots, when the speeds start to match up, it's not that the radar is going to get it confused. What will help your results is making sure that you have the metallic dot on the golf ball, and that golf ball is facing, that dot is facing the target. However, if you continue to experience those issues, just reach out to support and we can take a look at it. But no, there shouldn't be any issues with the shorter shots. I mean, I just was in the cage hitting a few 20, 30-yard shots, and I was having any issues. So make sure you got the dot. If you're still experiencing issues, then make sure you give our support team a call. I'm going to go ahead with the next one. It says any Android software planning. And this is from Stefan. We do have FS Golf app in the Android software already. And you can go ahead into the Google Play Store and download that software. All right, so I'm going to continue with our presentation, and then we'll continue taking some more questions. So how are we going to connect to the Mevo Plus? So first, you want to make sure that you have your FS Golf app downloaded on your phone, and you can simply do that on your store, whether it's Apple or Google. You're going to turn on your Mevo Plus, and then you're going to launch your FS Golf app. Now, one thing to remember on the Mevo Plus, and you're going to turn it on, is press and hold the power button for about 3 seconds. So what will happen is you'll press and hold it, you'll hear a beep, you'll release it, and then the Mevo Plus will turn on. Do not press and hold it past 3 seconds, because it will put the Mevo Plus into a different boot cycle. So just make sure, press and hold. Once you hear the beep, let it go. It's about 3 seconds, and then the Mevo Plus will switch on. You go ahead and launch your FS Golf app. And in the application, it's going to ask you to connect to the unit. Now, you can do that one of two ways. You can go the old school version, which would be going into your phone or your iPad settings, going under Wi-Fi, and searching for the Mevo Plus's Wi-Fi network, which would be something like M2-01234, for example. And that number is just the serial number of the Mevo Plus. Or in the application, you can scan the QR code on the back of the unit, which is on the back lower right-hand corner, as you can see in the description of the image. Once you do that, it's going to go ahead and connect to your Mevo Plus. Your indicators will look as follow. On the battery side, there you can see what the percentage of battery indicates depending on the lights. And then on the right-hand side, you can see when it's in use. So one is charging, one is in use. So the rule of thumb is whenever you see the blue lights, you're charging. Whenever you see anything else, it's in use. Under your connection statuses, two key things you want to look for is the blue light, the blue ready light, the green connected light, and then once everything is ready to go, the armed and ready to measure, you're going to see a red light. So red means armed and ready. Now, how we set up the Mevo Plus for different environments is very important. We'll start off first with outdoor. Outdoor is whenever you're going to have unrestricted ball flight. You want to have a sensor to tee distance, so from the radar to the ball, anywhere from 7 to 9 feet, and then you're going to hit your golf ball. You do not have to have a metallic sticker on the golf ball when you are in an outdoor mode. Now, we get the question asked many times, if I'm hitting from an indoor bay to an outdoor range, what mode should I select? That should be outdoors. If you're hitting outdoors, but you're hitting into a net, then you would select the indoor mode, which is the next mode we'll discuss. So for indoor, you must have one metallic dot on the golf ball, and that metallic dot should be facing the target. You want to have a sensor to tee distance of about 8 feet, and you want to have a minimum ball flight of 13 feet. This is for the indoor mode. We also have a short indoor mode, and this is for your, maybe the setups where you're a little bit limited on spacing, your garages or your basements. Short indoor mode allows you to have a setup of 16 feet total. That's 8 feet from sensor to tee, and that's 8 feet of ball flight. And again, a metallic dot is required on the golf ball. So one other key piece of information in these setups is A metallic dot is required indoors whenever you're going to be hitting anything that's full, any full shots, anything with an iron, a driver, or wood. If you're going to be putting, then you want to use a golf ball that does not have a dot, and we'll discuss that a little bit when we get into the simulation. You want to make sure that you keep the area clear between the Mevo Plus and the golfer. Keep it clear of bags and clutter or other, metal objects. Here's some examples of the setups. So, you want to have your Mevo Plus set up 8 feet behind the golf ball. And if you're hitting off a mat, just make sure that the mat is no higher than 3 inches. So, for those of you who have had Mevo Pluses for some time now, before in the instruction manual used to state that the Mevo Plus needed to be on the same level as the ball. That actually was causing disturbances, and so we changed it like we have with all of our other products. Basically, you place the Mevo Plus on the ground, and then in the application, it will ask you for a surface, a T-surface height, and that is where you will enter the height of the mat. And again, with the Mevo Plus, the ball cannot be above 3 inches. For putting, you want to make sure that you keep a level surface between the radar and the ball, and like I said, no metallic dot. And then for chipping and full swings, you want to make sure that the Mevo Plus is below the hitting surface or level with it. You do not want any space in the middle, as you see here. So let's say you're hitting off a mat and then you put the Mevo Plus on top of something or on top of another mat, and you create, let's say, a valley between the two. That will create disturbances and will affect the data. So I'm going to take a pause there, and let's go ahead and start answering some more questions because we have quite a bit. So we have a question here from Karma. It says, putting not recording while playing courses on E6. Hitting mat is 3/4 of an inch. Our putting mat is a well mat about 1/4 inch or less. Mevo Plus and putting mat on same level, and we are putting 7 feet from the unit. Karma, if you're having issues with that, again, I would recommend you speak to support. Could be something in the environment, could be something with the unit itself, but yes, it should work on a flat level surface. Just give us a call, and they can run through some diagnostics with you. We have a question from Charles that says, can I use any battery pack? I have one for my iPhone 6 that works well. Is there a certain specs required? It needs, the output on the charging pack needs to be above 2.5 amps. I believe that our support recommends, I think it's 3. However, I will ask the support team to put the specs into the chat so everyone can get it. So we have a question from Jay-Z. It says, any plans to use Bluetooth or other method to connect? Taking away internet seems very limiting. The reason we selected Wi-Fi is because it establishes a stronger connection. It also allows us to do video from the device to the application a lot quicker and better. However, if you have a device with cellular data, because this was designed for a phone to be mainly used as a consumer product on a phone, phones obviously have cellular data, so we could pull cellular data for the application, and we could connect to Wi-Fi for the unit. I have a question from John that says, some have found that the power adapter causes interference. Is this true? Which battery pack can be utilized as an alternative? What are the specifications if you have an existing battery pack? Again, the battery pack should have, I think the output needs to be at least 2.5, but I will get support to, yes. So we have some customers that say supports at 2.0 to 2.5. The higher, the better. We have a question here from Keith that says, hi, wondering if the Awesome Golf app will get a offline setup to run with iPad setups in the future, as you can only run it if you have online presence. This is tied up as Wi-Fi being used to connect to the Mevo Plus. Keith, I'm not sure. I do know that they have an iPad application. They also have a PC application, which they just released, and they do have a 14-day trial for it. So you can reach out to Awesome Golf and ask them that. But I do know that there is a PC version that is out, and they do have a 14-day trial for it. We have a question from Will. It says, is there a way to track the status of my Mevo Plus order? There is. You can just reach out to us with your order information, and we can get you an estimated ship date on that. We have been able to reduce the lead times down pretty significant. I mean, we were at one point, we were up to 14 to 16 weeks. And Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we're down to 7 or 8 now.
That's correct, yeah.
We have a question here from Thomas. Any plans to add metrics, specifically path numbers? Not at the moment. There is some limitations with the size of radar and things like that. So we've pretty much maxed out this unit on what it can provide. But of course, like any technology, we're always looking to move it forward and advance it. So just keep checking out, keep getting updates from us, and we'll let you know if there's anything that we can add to it. I know that we will be doing some modifications to the applications to bring you some cooler features. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go back into the our slides here, and we'll continue. So as I mentioned before, for the best spin accuracies indoors, you want to make sure you place that reflective sticker on the ball and that sticker is facing the target. Make sure that the sticker is also used only indoors. And one of the reasons why we say make sure the sticker is facing the target is so that your stickers do last longer and you don't knock them off with your grooves. If you do run out of stickers, you can go online to our store and purchase an additional batch of them. Here's a no extremely low and wide shots where the player is between the Mevo Plus and the ball might not register. So, if let's say you're a right-handed golfer, you hit something low and hard left, the radar might not trigger because of the environment and the ball leaving the cone or the radar's field of view too quickly. So just keep that in mind if you do see a shot where it's not tracked. If it's low and severely left where the player gets in front of it, it will not register. Some things to keep in mind indoors, things that affect the unit's performance. One is going to be low-hanging fluorescent lighting. Fluorescent lighting does create noise in the environment, and the radar can see that. The radar is pretty sensitive to anything that's moving in the environment, especially within its frequencies. Computers with fans, if you're going to have them, just try to have them where it's not in the radar's field of view, and then also your bigger fans. So one thing you can do is you can reach out to our team if you're having any issues, and they can take an environmental sample of your area, and they'll be able to tell you if there's something in there that's causing noise. But for the most part, as long as you keep the area clean without anything, fans or lights that are in the way, the radar should be fine. We always recommend LED lights if you have that option. If you need to have fluorescent lighting, we just recommend that they are set up a little higher. And again, here's some examples of noisy objects that do affect the radar. So your air cons or your air conditioning, if they're very low, fluorescent lighting, fans, computers because of the fans with them, fridges, and then your signal towers if they're close to you. So we have the FS Golf app. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually unshare this slide presentation, and then I'm going to go into my application. While I'm doing that, Tyler, if you want to go ahead and take some more questions, let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so we have a question here at the top that has 7 votes, so maybe we can take care of this one. Any updates as to when the estimated spin issue with short indoor mode is likely to be resolved?
I do know that the team is working on it. I don't know. I don't have the estimation, but it is a high priority. And we are going to do these webinars once a month. So I hope to have a resolution for this before the next webinar next month. But I do know it's a high priority, and they are working on it.
Okay, and then yeah, another one that I'm seeing a lot is maybe just sort of expand a little bit on the short indoor versus indoor, and kind of what the differences are. You know, people are kind of asking, do we recommend that they have the net farther away from the ball? So maybe just expanding on that a little bit.
So we do recommend that the more distance you have for ball flight, the better. So the indoor mode would be what we recommend. However, we know that, because this is an indoor product and it's a consumer product, we know that space and space limitations was something that we had to address. So we added the short indoor mode, which works fine. However, if you have more ball flight, it just sets up the unit for just much higher accuracy and just better tracking, just because it has a little bit more time to see the ball in flight, especially with higher ball speed players. If you have guys that are moving it 170, 180, 190s, you definitely want to give it a little more ball flight if you can.
Okay, and I think this maybe is a good one leading into what you're going to show with the FS Golf. Can you please demonstrate how to use the video recording from the Mevo Plus device and how you can watch the videos from your FlightScope Golf application on your PC? So yeah, we'll get into that definitely when you're showing the app. See if there's any other good questions here. There's a lot of people asking about club path and face angle, and if it's going to be added to the Mevo Plus.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, we have pretty much maxed out this unit as far as data goes. Just there is certain limitations because of radar size, etc. So we will continue to look at it, but for the moment, the data parameters that are provided is what we will continue with.
So we'd have 10 votes for this one now, and I think I know the answer, but just going to ask it anyways. Any news on the short driver distance issue that people seem to experience?
Do you know the answer? Yeah, so no, there is an update. Actually, it should already be out on the latest app version with FS Golf. There was an app update done to the SDK. One of the biggest things that was happening was that the weather was being taken in with wind information. So what was happening was the wind was affecting the numbers that you were seeing, especially on carry distance. So what the application does now is it imports the local weather information, but it defaults the wind to off. So you're going to get your carry distances based on your local weather, but with no wind. However, if you want to go in and turn the wind on, you can do that. Hopefully I'll be able to share my screen here from my iPad and show you guys how we go about doing that. Okay, I'm going to play a video for you guys here on binding and unbinding these licenses. What I want to make note of is if you order a Mevo Plus and you get your emails, and you might even download the Mevo Plus, or I'm sorry, the E6 app. What happens is E6 automatically binds a demo license to your account. So when you receive your Mevo Plus with the code to activate your courses, it gives you a fault. And so what you have to do is you have to go in and unbind that demo license and bind the license that you received with your Mevo Plus. This video is going to show you how to do that. If you don't see it, or if it's choppy or whatever the case may be, don't worry. We're going to email this out to everyone, so you will have this video that you can take note of once you receive your unit, or for those of you who are having issues with it. So I'll go ahead and play it, and then let me know what you guys think. All right, so hopefully that video helped you guys out a little bit. Again, if you're having issues with the binding or unbinding, just let us know, and we will send you this video, or we'll help you walk you through the process. If for whatever reason you guys showed up late to this webinar, or you have more questions, feel free to contact us. This webinar will be sent to you if you registered, so you can go back and replay it. We have a lot of questions left on the Ask a Question section, Tyler. Let's try to take as many as we can.
Yeah, so a lot of them have actually been answered. I can't, for some reason, I'm not able to mark them off as answered. I think we answered most of them, but we didn't get back to you. We'll get you an answer, and this will be sent out also in an email blast if you want to watch it later. Just one more quick thing on the E6 issue. If you are actually waiting on your Mevo Plus, we do recommend not to download the E6 Connect app until you get your unit. And when you do get your unit, you're going to get a card inside that has two sides. So this side, the white side, is going to have your unique license key there with your 5 courses. And then this side is the instructions. So unfortunately, at this time, we do recommend that you sort of ignore these instructions and follow the instructions that we're going to be sending you in an email. It is a little bit different. We recommend, instead of just going directly into the app, you're going to go into portal.e6 first, and that's when so the video that Alex just showed, you won't have to do that if you follow the instructions that we send in the email first. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it, and we're going to make sure that everyone has both options. So just be on the lookout for an email on that. If you bought through a reseller, we're going to get the directions to them as well. So hopefully everyone will, that's waiting, will get those instructions and have no issues. So just wanted to note that.
And I see a comment here from Juan that says some compliments on my hat, and he's asking where he can get one. So I'm glad to see comments like that, because we've been having some discussions internally of what hats we're going to have for next year. So we'll have some curved build, but we'll also keep rolling with the flat bills. And we'll have all these hats up on the store if you guys want to grab some. So I'll stick with my flat bills though. Any other questions we can answer? I know there's actually probably a ton of them. We're going to continue doing these webinars for you guys. We are going to do some pre-recorded stuff. I'll do some pre-recorded stuff on the application video of just kind of how to set up, how to get into the application, and then continue through the process there, kind of like a mini application training, and then we'll share that with all of our customers. All right, guys, so thank you very much for your time. Again, any questions, or if you guys are having any support issues, feel free to reach out. We'll monitor all of our social media, and our support team is here ready to help. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you here shortly in a couple weeks. Take care.